TIVE. To motivate our discussion, let's say one day y'all were very bad to me, and so I decided to be mean to y'all. And I said, this is your quiz right here. Find the difference quotient of, and I say f of x is equals to 3x squared minus 4x plus 2 at x is equals to negative 1. Right. And thinking to yourself, well, I have to do 4 steps. Remember, the definition was the limit as h approaches 0 of f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h, right? Right? But of course, like I said, I was upset. So not only did you have to do that x equals negative 1, you also had to find that answer at x is equals to 5. And you also had to find the answer at x is equals to 7. And you also had to find the answer at x is equals to 10. And you had to find the answer at x is equals to 20. And you had to find the answer at x is equals to 100. And you had to do the whole thing in 5 minutes. Don't get your professor mad. He can do stuff like that to you. Don't do that. Right? Well, there is a way where you can actually get all 6 of these answers in 5 minutes. The general form of, how you spell form again? Have 4. F-O-R. Of the difference quotient is called the derivative. In mathematics, we use one of 3 symbols for the derivative. We write f prime of x, or we write dy dx, or we write y prime. F prime of x, dy dx, or y prime of x. The derivative f prime of x is, again, the general form of the difference quotient is written as the formula is the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Of course, it's a lovely formula that you do have to memorize. Any questions so far?
So we have to memorize that formula right there?
Well, think about it. If you already memorized this formula right here, what's the difference between the 2 formulas? Because you have to memorize this one up here first, right?
Yes.
What's the difference between these 2 formulas?
Substitute a for x.
Instead of an a, we have the value x, right? Remember, x represents a variable, i.e. an unknown value. Right? And so my question to you is, do you really have to memorize 2 formulas here? Or just memorize the first one and then know if you're using the derivative, use x instead of a? Okay, I had no response. I'm thinking that all y'all shaking your heads. You know, this day and age, y'all don't be shaking your heads too well. But, anywho, with that being said, where was that? Right. And so the reason why this is called the general form is that we haven't plugged the number in yet. Remember how I would have had to plug in -1 right here, and then plug in -1 right here, and then work it the whole thing out? Well, with the derivative, we work the whole thing out first, and then at the end, we plug in the -1. Okay? And so what we do is we do exactly the same thing we did before. This right here is step number 1. Figure out what f of x plus h is. f of x. This is step number 2. Step number 3 is the subtraction step. Step number 4 is to divide by h. Right? And of course, we then take the limit as h goes to 0 to give us our derivative. And then I can plug in my -1, plug in my 5, plug in my 7, 10, 20, 100. Questions there? Comments? Queries? Concerns? So we can step forward then, yeah?
Do you want us to do this method that you're teaching us if we have a problem like this, or can we just plug it in?
Well, you have to follow the instructions. If the instructions say find the difference quotient, then you plug it in. If it says find the derivative, then you use this one right here. Okay? Did I answer your question?
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, find question the derivative of the function we're just looking at, f of x is equals to 3x squared minus 4x plus 2. And then use the answer to find the difference quotients. Because remember, I need to find the difference quotient at x equals -1, x equals 5, and so on and so on. Okay, are you ready? Oh, they left. Hopefully it's not something I said. Step number 1. Find f of x plus h. So again, that's just plugging in x plus h. So that's going to be 3 times x plus h squared minus 4 times x plus h plus 2. Okay, PEMDAS says I have to do the square first, so I will do it in my working column. X plus h squared means take x plus h and multiply it by x plus h. I am foiling. X times x is x squared. X times h is xh. H times x is xh. And then h times h is h squared. The two middle terms are like. And so that will leave me with x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Questions there? So then this is equals to 3 times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 4 times x plus h plus 2. I then distribute. 3 times x is 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h minus 4x minus 4h plus 2. And that is the end because none of these terms are like terms. So that's the end of step number 1. A lot of people think that this is actually easier than the difference quotient for 2 reasons. The first is x plus h squared always gives us the same answer. So some people just memorize that answer. And you don't have to combine anything on this step. This right here is just the answer right there.
You forgot the h squared on the last one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else? The next step, step number 2, is to find f of x. But that's a trick step. I already have f of x. F of x is this right here. So step number 2 doesn't require any work. It is 3x squared minus 4x plus 2. Remember in the previous examples, the difference quotient, you have to plug the number in and work it out. But this right here, step number 2 is no work at all. Isn't that even easier? Step number 3, the subtraction step, is I have to take the 2 equations and I have to subtract them one from each other. So 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared minus 4x minus 4h plus 2. And from here, I have to subtract out and from here, I have to subtract out the answer from step number 2, which is 3x squared minus 4x plus 2. Have I lost anybody?
Yes, you lost me.
Well, tell me where. Tell me where. Step 1, 2, or 3.
1.
All right. Which part? Which line? Step number 1. The first line right here.
Yes, that right there.
All right. So let's go back right here. You see the equation of the function right here, up here,
Yes.
and the equation. Let me switch to the color red. And so you see right here how I have an x plus h right here in the function.
Mm-hmm.
So if I take this function right here, I'm circling, and I plug in x plus h in this function, wouldn't that leave me with 3 multiplied by x plus h squared?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Minus 4 times x plus h plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got this line right here.
Yes, that's understandable. Yeah, I get that.
All right. And then I just got to follow through my PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents. And so I have to do my square. So that's x plus h squared is this falls out to give me this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do my multiplication. So I distribute the 3, distribute the negative 4. And the rest of it, I cannot do because I don't have any like terms. And so that results in my final answer. So this right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, step number 2 is nothing because there are no steps right here. And we're on step number 3. Anybody else have questions? You got no questions? So I'm subtracting. So like terms will cancel out. 3x squared minus 3x squared, they will cancel out. Negative 4x minus negative 4x, they will cancel out. And then 2 minus 2, again, they will cancel out. If you've done step 3 correctly, all that you'll be left with are terms that have an h in there. Questions there about step number 3. Step numero 3. All right. And then step number 4 is 6xh plus 3h squared minus 4h divided by h. H's will cancel. And that leaves me with 6x plus 3h minus 4. And now I have simplified the problem. If we remember our rule for a difference for our indeterminate form is after you simplify, you retake the limit. The limit as h goes to 0 of 6x plus 3h minus 4. That's going to be 6x plus 3 times 0 minus 4. And so that's going to give me 6x minus 4. And this now is my derivative, f of x, f prime of 6x minus 4.
Oh, that's step 3, like aren't you supposed to put like the power since it's like a higher?
Which
Isn't,
power? Which power?
isn't the 3h squared, isn't that supposed to be first? Since it's
Oh,
like
it
the
does.
highest.
It does not. It does not matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The only reason I have it this way right here is because see how I had the x squared first. So I just wrote it in the order I had it. That's all. But it does not matter because it's going to become 0. It's going to go away anyways, right? Right.
Yeah, you're right.
So it doesn't matter. Maybe you want to put it in front. That you can go right ahead. But all of this right here is to bring us to what we call the derivative of the function. Now that I have the derivative of the function, I can then use it to find difference quotients that I'm looking for. So I can then find all the difference quotients in a snap. Find the difference quotient. Remember there were 6 difference quotients I had to find? The first one, f prime of -1, 6 times -1 minus 4 gives me -10. That's my first difference quotient. F prime of 5, that's going to be 6 times 5 minus 4, 6 5 is 30, minus 4 is 26. F prime of 7, 6 times 7 minus 4, 42 minus 4 is 38. F of prime of 10 is 6 times 10 minus 4, 60 minus 4, 56. F prime of 20 is equals to 6 times 20 minus 4, which is 116. And F prime of 100 equals 6 times 100 minus 4, 596. I don't know if anybody timed me, but I found all 6 difference quotients in under 5 minutes. I hope.
Okay, so I have a question. If I was already doing this method, then what's the difference between this and just finding the actual difference quotient?
The difference quotient always results in a number. The derivative results in a function. You have to go one step further of the derivative of plugging the value in to then find the answer into a difference quotient. But I did notice that when I was looking at your what do you call that thing again? Your work. Me turning the picture for the previous quiz.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else? All right, well then, go ahead and find the derivative for me, please. Oh, right. So now what happens right here is that you see how you need to find the derivative to then find the remaining difference quotients? On the test, if, for example, I give you this problem right here, so I'm going to get you to try. I'm going right here, find the derivative, T-I-V-E, of, and then I give you f of x is equals to -4x squared plus 10x minus 8. I will actually tell you what the answer is because you need the answer to the rest of the problem. So if you make a mistake the first part, you can still do the rest of the problems. Make sense? A little bit?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Find this difference quotient for me. Find the derivative for me, please. Put the answer in a private message. Send me the answer in the box for me, please. Send me a text message with the answers. Jada, what is that you sent me? I'm not sure what that means. Hold on, Mr. Flakes. Jada, that is correct. Are we all moving the same direction? Clayton, that is almost right. Miss Perkins, that is right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make that stuff there. Doesn't show up. Oh boy. I know this takes some time. Remember, people, you have to try. You don't learn by watching people do stuff. Okay, you do learn, but it's not as efficient. The more you till the ground, the more hard work you do, the better the flowers you get. Yes, yes. And we all want lovely flowers, right? How's it going, people? Talk to me. You almost finished?
Almost.
You got it, Mr. Clayton?
I'm almost done. Can you give me a little more time?
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Still waiting. Maurice, how you get that answer? Maybe you could send me a picture of that answer. Finesse, finesse, that is correct. Xavier, the first number is not negative 16. Looks like you're off by a factor of 2. That's right, Miss Jackson.
Is the second number correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Miss Rogers, you need to take the limit as h goes to 0 to finish it off. That is right, Xavier. I don't know how you figured out what was wrong. Now it's correct. Miss Rogers. Again, don't forget, if you're stuck, go ahead and put that in there. Put something in there. I'm about to take control of it again, so need a little bit more time. You gotta let me know. Thank you, Earl. All right, I see it. I guess that's all the responses I'm going to get. So let me go ahead and work this problem out. So again, we're trying to find the limit as h goes to 0, f of x plus of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. The answer, by the way, is negative 8x plus 10. All right, step number 1 is f of x plus h, and that's going to be negative 4 times x plus h squared plus 10 times x plus h minus 8. right? Then that's going to be negative 4. We have already foiled out x plus h before. It is x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Every term in there has the number 2. Yes, x squared, 2xh, and then h squared. Plus 10 times x plus h minus 8. And then I distribute negative 4x squared minus 8xh minus 4h squared plus 10x plus 10h minus 8. And that is the end of step number 1. Okay. Step number 2 is going to be f of x, but that is simply the original problem. All right, so let me pause right there. Any questions on the first 2 steps?
How did you get the second one for step 1, like the negative 4, like you
This right here, if the x plus h is in there.
Yes.
So you see the original problem? Everywhere I see x, I wrote x plus h. So negative 4, instead of just writing x, I write x plus h. Plus, instead of writing 10x, I write 10x plus h. Okay? Because I'm plugging in x plus h for x.
Oh, okay.
Anybody else? Yeah, step 1 is the crazy one. All the remaining steps are pretty straightforward. Step 3, the subtraction step. Let's go to the red colors. The x minus 4 here and the x minus 4 will cancel out. The 10x and the 10x will cancel out. The negative 8 and the negative 8 will cancel out. And that will simply leave me with negative 8xh minus 4h squared plus 10h divided by h. Questions there? Okay, I simplify. After I simplify, cancel. Yes, question.
I got a question. Can you go back up to like step? I think it was. All right. So you see at step 1 how you had like, did you do the subtraction? Like, because when I did my subtraction, I ended up with a positive 8x squared minus 8xh minus 4h squared minus 10h minus 16. So I don't know what I did wrong.
So yeah, yes, the problem is your minus sign. If I have negative 8 minus negative 8, what's the answer?
Oh,
Because the negative and the negative will become a, there's negative 8 plus 8, and that's 0. So they end up canceling out. Okay.
gotcha.
And so in my subtraction step right here, because they're the same, they will cancel out.
Oh, see, I had the negative 4x squared minus 4x squared. That's how I got like the negative, the 8.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see. But does that clear it up for you?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. And so down here, I am dividing by 8. So this will cancel, and this will cancel, and this will cancel, and this will cancel. Oh, that's step 4. I'm mixing steps together. Go away. Right, and step 4 is to then divide by h, xh minus 4h squared plus 10h divided by h. And that will leave us with cancel. Negative 8x minus 4h plus 10. Now that I have simplified, I take the limit as h goes to 0. Negative 8x minus 4h plus 10.